We've got the fighters who now will take their place on June the 16th on main events and in this very venue between Paul Gallen and Justis Huni. We might start with Paul Gallen, who did join us in commentary, as you could probably hear through proceedings. What did you make of what you saw from Justis Huni?
Look, he was good. He was impressive. At range is where he wanted to fight tonight. That's where he wants to fight me. Kept me on the outside, but I saw things from Christian Tsoye tonight that I can exploit and that I can do hopefully better than what Christian did tonight. I've got to go forward on him. That's pretty obvious. And I have the fitness and the ability to continue going forward and continue that pressure. Look, when I got broken up tonight, Tsoye probably stood a little bit still, didn't have that much head movement, and sort of Justis really lightning fast jab just picked him off for a lot of the night. But Christian Tsoye was tough as nails. I don't even think he had a mark on him at the end of that. He was tough.
You were confident, obviously, for your fight with Justis Huni, or you wouldn't have taken the fight, but fair to say that you are more confident now than you were when you arrived here tonight?
Yeah, without a doubt. I saw things tonight that I can exploit. The pace I'm going to go at is a whole lot faster than what Christian went tonight, and once I get on the inside, I'm going to be able to keep punching. Justis didn't like that at times on the inside tonight. He wanted to tie it up, and then the referee broke it up and went back to the range, which is good for Justis. I've got to keep going forward, keep that pressure on, and get inside and fight him. It's a fight. Christian didn't make it dirty enough tonight.
Justis Huni, congratulations on your victory. You've retained your Australian heavyweight title, which you'll now defend in 3 weeks' time against this man, Paul Gallen. First of all, some thoughts on your performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was a very good performance, and I'm on to the next.
It did feel at times like you were using it as a sparring session, as practice for what you're going to do in 3 weeks' time. Would that be a fair assessment?
Sort of, but at the same time, it was I was in a fight. I wasn't going out there just to spar. I was obviously trying to win and do it in good fashion, and that's what I did.
He's an incredibly tough opponent, Christian Tsoye. Did you feel that you hurt him with those body shots?
Yeah, look, obviously it definitely slowed him up. That's probably why he couldn't keep the pressure on. That's what Gallen's got to look out for.
How difficult was it going into this fight knowing that you had another fight in 3 weeks' time?
No, not difficult at all. I went into that fight just focused on that fight, and now I can fully focus on the Gallen fight.
And how do you respond to the confidence that he's just expressed after watching what you did tonight?
Yeah, they can say what they want to say, but it's the actions. Actions speak louder than words.
Maybe we get a comment from the promoter, Dean Lonergan. Dean, first of all, are you happy with what you got out of tonight? You obviously wanted to get the Sydney media here to see Justis Huni up close and personal, but more importantly, you wanted to get Justis Huni through this fight. Are you content?
Look, very happy. Justis put on a boxing masterclass tonight, and I think you'll find that Rocky, his trainer and obviously father, was very, very happy that it went 10 rounds. Rocky felt he needed the rounds, and I thought, Justis won every single round in there, and he probably could have ended the fight maybe after round 6 or 5 when, he caught Christian with some massive shots. And Gallen can talk about coming forward and flailing away like a madman like he will, but mate, it's all very well doing that, but when you're getting hit and smacked in the stomach as hard as what Justis was laying on to Christian Tsoye, that's going to be a whole different ballgame. So it's fair to say I'm very, very happy with the outcome. Justis has come through from what I can see with no injuries. And we've got ourselves a fight on June 16, and I think the fight's going to be a whole lot different because you're not going to have Rocky in the corner saying we need the rounds. You're going to have Rocky in the corner saying knock him out, Justis, it's time for him to go. And I did say from day one that this was not going to be a merciful 1 or 2 round knockout to Justis to knock Paul out. What it's going to be is a very slow beatdown over 4, 5 and 6 rounds. And I've got to tell you, if you're Paul Gallen, you'd rather get knocked out in round 1 or 2 than have to take the punishment that Christian Tsoye took tonight, because that's what's coming. And Christian Tsoye, from memory, was it Herman Purcell knocked over Paul going in the second round maybe 4 or 5 or 6 fights ago? So it's fair to say whatever Herman had to load up, Justis can do it for 10 rounds. And Paul's in a whole world of pain. And nothing changed with mine after tonight. I was very happy with the outcome. I've seen a lot of fights, and that was a completely dominant display, and it was something most importantly that his trainer wanted to see him do. So I'll hand over to Rocky right now, and Rocky, explain your views on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, what I wanted out of the fight is the rounds. Obviously, it's hard to get rounds sparring. I needed him to get rounds under pressure, under the lights. It was exactly what he did. Look, Paul talks about the fight keeping it long. I don't see the fight going the way that it went tonight. Tonight was all about getting the rounds in and safety for us. Look, you probably heard me every time Justice rocked him. I called out to take it easy or back off. At the end of the day, he probably could have stopped it earlier, but there were too many risks, and the risks of getting caught, going for the knockout, and not fighting on the 16th. To us, at the end of the day, it's all about the 16th. We got the rounds out, did what he had to do. There were a lot of things there he probably could have worked on more, but yeah, I'm more than happy with the result tonight.
Okay, we might take some questions now from those who want to ask them. Jack over here has a microphone he can bring. If you want to chuck your hand up, maybe.
Gal, mate, you talked about the fact that this fight wasn't locked in for you today. It now seems like it is with Justice, coming out looking pretty good. How relieved are you that you actually have a fight June 16th?
Yeah, I'm relieved. It's been a tough couple of weeks. As we all know, I asked Dean not to have this fight for the pure fact, heavyweight boxing, things can go wrong in one punch. Thankfully tonight it didn't, and Justice has pulled through fine, and now we're going to fight on the 16th. But it's been a tough couple of weeks preparing for it. But now, as I said on air over there, I've got 3 weeks now to prepare as hard as I possibly can, and next 2 weeks of really hard, tough sparring, get that in, and I'll be well prepared come the 16th.
Can we expect you to stop bleeding for a little bit now that the fight's on?
Can you come up with something new? You are seriously ABC News, no offence, but you've got nothing. You are the worst. Come on, mate. You've dead set used the same line 25 times.
I haven't. That's the first time I've used that one.
No, it's not. You've said, I've read it in the paper about 5 times. You've got nothing. Seriously, give it to him. He's fighting. Stop talking for him. He's an adult, mate.
I'm happy to let him talk.
22 years of age. He's not a kid.
It's fair to say, Gail, you're going to find out plenty in the next
right,
bloody
we'll see.
3 weeks. But I'll sure give the Justice.
Let him tell me that.
Gal, was there a sense of nerves, not because of what Justice has, but the fact that it might not go ahead if something went wrong tonight? Was there a sense of nerves?
Yeah, I was in two minds tonight when I got here. I saw the total disrespect at the camp, and Dean Lonergan showed Christian Tsoye yesterday not even having his poster or his photo or his name near the weigh, and I thought that was disgraceful. And part of me wanted to see Christian catch him tonight. But the other part of me, wants to fight. Wants to push myself and challenge myself. So wants to fight. So I was a little bit nervous tonight. I had a foot in both camps, but it came through. It was pretty clear after sort of 5 or 6 rounds that Justice had the game to beat him tonight and stay on the outside and pick him off the way he did, and he did that very well. Used his jab really well. As I said, Christian was probably a little bit of a still target too often, but I'm happy that the fight's now locked in and we can just prepare as well as we can for the next couple of weeks and get in on the 16th and get the job done.
Gal, what have you got in your arsenal that's going to get around his speed and his footwork?
Well, I think everyone knows that the constant pressure, the constant pressure, head movement. If I catch him with a punch, it can hurt him. No one thought I could lock Lucas Brown out, and I did. He's got a whole lot more movement. I know that he's not going to stand there and cop punches, but that's where I've got to keep the pressure, the relentless pressure. When I get to him, I've got to stay on him. He's going to move. He's going to dance around for 4 or 5 rounds. I've got to keep that relentless pressure on him, or he's going to eventually tire. As I said, I get through the first 5 or 6 rounds, I can catch him late and knock him out.
Justice, everyone's talking about Gal here, and Gal's obviously the guy that's got the name. But when you sit here and you think about this fight with Paul, do you think that it's over quickly? Do you think that Gal can offer you something or show you something that you haven't seen before in your amateur career and your professional career to date?
Yeah, for sure. Everyone's style is different, and if you know boxing, styles make fights. But yeah, the way I look at it is it's going to be similar to what went on tonight. He said he's going to bring a little bit more pressure, and it just means he's going to walk into more punches.
Justice, obviously very comfortable throughout those rounds, won every round. You felt his power. At any time did you feel like you were uncomfortable?
No, not at all. I was very comfortable in there. I was in my zone, and it was all easy work for me.
Gal, do you think he's got the power to knock you out?
No, he has got that one punch knockout power. I think we know that. I think we saw it tonight. come up with some clean flush shots. He has in all of his fights, and he hasn't knocked anyone out. It's accumulation of punches, which he's very good at. That's what I've got to avoid. You know, you get hit with 4 or 5 clean, good shots, it's going to hurt and eventually slow you down. So, but as far as having that one-punch knockout power, I don't think he's got it.
Rocky, how do you respond to that? Or Justis, how do you respond to that?
How do I respond to that? Justice is a boxer. Muhammad Ali never had a one-shot power, but yet he boxed the ears out of most of his opponents. Justice, he still fights a little bit like he does in the amateurs. He doesn't sit on his punches, and he will eventually. But, you know, right now, our target is the Olympics and win that gold. So I want to make sure that I keep the amateur style, you know, present as well.
Justice, obviously, Gal said that he's going to put a lot more pressure onto you and that he's going to make it a lot more of a dirty fight. After what we've seen with this fight against Christian Tsoye and obviously the fight against Django, do you think you're more than ready for this?
Yeah, 100%. I've prepared my whole life for this. Yeah, I feel like I work better under pressure. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if his game plan goes to plan.
Rocky, can I ask, it's obviously a fine balancing act in terms of fighting a couple of 10-rounders and before going into an Olympic campaign where you obviously 3-3s. How do you strike that balance right?
He's always throughout his whole amateur career, he's always sparred long rounds. At 10 rounds, Justice does pretty easy in sparring, but in an actual fight with lights, he's never gone to 10 rounds. So tonight was perfect. It was a perfect warm-up fight for the Gal fight. Look, big respect for Gal, but Justice won't be fighting like that come the 16th. You know, today was, you know, just a hard sparring session. And we wanted to get out of there, Justice not being injured. And, you know, we've done that.
Gal, you've got obviously a massive engine. Is it fair to say that you're going to be fitter than you've ever been for this fight?
Oh, look, it probably. I mean, probably my ability to what I can do in running and what I can do in sparring. I'm sparring 10 rounds at the moment comfortably as well. So, I mean, yeah, I'll certainly be fit as far as being as fit as I've ever been. Rugby league and boxing are two totally different sports and totally different fitnesses. But I'll be as fit as I've been for a boxing fight, yeah.
Well, that seems to be the end of the questions. So thanks again, everyone, for coming along. And don't forget to join us again for Fight Week, which is coming up in a few weeks' time. And the main event show that is Paul Gallen against Justis Huni right at this very venue on the 16th of June. Thanks again.